1, 2, 3, 4. E minor, very fun chord to play, very easy chord to play. Today we're going to look at the music theory of how it's formed and the correct fingering and maybe even how to find it in a few places. But first of all, the boring music theory stuff. The E minor chord, just like any minor chord, has the intervals 1, flat 3, and 5. That's what we call the chord formula. Now, one thing that I think can be a little bit confusing when we're first learning these chord formulas is, okay, yeah, right, it's 1, flat 3, and 5, but with respect to what? Where's that coming from? So it's important to understand that although we're dealing with a minor chord, E minor, we always have to reference the major scale that has the same letter. So E minor has the note E as its root. So in order to find a 1, a flat 3, and a 5, we have to go to the E major scale. So E minor chord, but we're referencing still the E major scale. So that looks like this. We have to go to the neck here and find an E so we can play the E major scale based off of that. So here we have, this is the 5th fret of the A string is a D, right? So that 7th fret is an E. So the E is our root, and then playing the major scale, we could get the notes that are in the key of E major. To get the chord tones that are in the E minor chord, we have to find a 1, a flat 3, and a 5. So the 1 is the root, so our root's always going to be E. The flat 3, let's play the major scale. There's our 3rd, so we have to flatten that. So what note is that? That's a G. So our 3rd is going to be always G when we're playing an E minor chord. And because it's a flat 3 with respect to the E major scale. And then the 5th, so like in E major, it's E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B. So B is our 5th. B is our 5th in the major scale, E major, but it's also our 5th that we're going to use for the minor chord. So 1, flat 3, 5 with respect to the E major scale is E, G, B. And playing them together sounds like this. Okay? Now coming back here to the open chord position, this is how we fret the chord. And then we're going to analyze why it is an E minor chord and then try to find some others. So 1st fret, 2nd fret, right? Take your pointer finger, put it on the 2nd fret of the A string. Middle finger on the 2nd fret of the D string. All right, try to give you a good angle of that. 2nd fret, 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the A string, 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the D string, and then you strum all 6 of the strings open. Right, so I'm actually, if I could get a better angle here, while I'm doing this, strumming all 6 strings. Okay? What notes are we playing? Well, we have the open E, so that's a root. The 2nd fret of the A string is a B, so that's the 5th. 2nd fret of the D string is another E, so that's a root again. We don't yet have a minor chord because we haven't played all of the notes of the minor chord, right? Now the next string that we're going to play is the open G. That's our flat 3, because remember from the major scale, that was the flat 3. E, G, B, 1, flat 3, 5. E, G, B, 1, flat 3, 5. Now we have a minor chord. But we play this with all 6 strings, right? So we want it to sound more rich. So we have to play an E, a G, and a B, or else it's not a minor chord anymore. It's something else, right? It's going to be some other chord other than E minor. So the rest of the strings have to be one of those 3 notes, or else it's a different chord. Second string, looking at the second string, it's the open B string, it's a B, and the open E string is an E. So we have going from the 6th string down, E, B, E, G, B, E. Everything's an E, a G, and a B. 1 flat 3 and 5. Let's try to find some other E minors. Anywhere we have the E, the G, and the B, we have an E minor. So, 5th string rooted bar chord. The root is on the 5th string. Here we have the 7th fret for the E. And it's played like so. I'm going to call out the frets quick. Bar chord going along the 7th fret. Ring finger on the 9th fret of the D string. Pinky on the 9th fret of the G string. Middle finger on the 8th fret of the B string. And the bar is going down to the E string. We're not playing this open E string at all, okay? You can use the tip of your finger to mute it, or just don't play it at all. I do both just in case I happen to accidentally hit the open E string. That wouldn't matter if you're playing this particular chord, because every note's, even if you play the open string by accident, that's actually one of the notes of our triad, right? But if we were here, say like a D minor, you play it, doesn't belong in there, right? Okay? Let's do the notes. E, B, E, G, B. All E, G, B. Let's try to find another minor chord. I played it earlier when I was showing the scale. Oh. Here I'm playing the 7th fret on the A string. So this is still rooted on the A string. I'm playing as our flat 3, the G, and then I'm playing here on the 4th fret of the G string, I'm playing the B. E, G, B. 1 flat 3 5. We could add more notes down here. If we do the octave thing, we can find that coming 2 frets over from the root note here, 2 frets over, and 3 frets down, it's going to be the octave of this note. So this is another E, or the root again an octave up. So we add that into the shape and we fret those all out. This is not a chord, to be honest with you, that I ever play. But you could actually, in theory, play it like this. Something like this. Personally, if I was playing this particular voicing, because I'm not a gymnast of fingers, I would just literally drop the root and play it here as an inversion. Just drop in the root. So that's the E minor chord. If you like the video, give me a like It will help me to be seen more. It will help other budding guitar players to find this information and to grow quicker, which is what I'm here for. And if there's any other chord in particular that you would like me to do, please let me know in the comments section below. I appreciate you watching this video. Play the guitar from the heart and have fun with that. And why not? Let's finish this video with a bang. I'm going to play an E minor chord in the background and just have fun with that myself while playing some soloing in the key of E minor. Take it easy.